Hey guys, quick announcement before I do my review of No Good Deed. Right now it's September. In October I have some cool stuff planned up. For the most part on this channel I've been doing just reviews of current movies that come out, and I've always wanted to do some other videos about film discussion and even music discussion, and I figured October would be the best time to do that since I really love talking about horror films. So I'm getting started on ahead of time, but October, besides, I'm going to keep doing the current movies that are coming out, keep reviewing those, but I'm also going to do some videos on film discussion in general. I'm going to be discussing elements about films, particularly horror films since it's October, as well as talking about horror music that's composed in film over the years. So I'm really excited for that. It's going to be kind of a new step for the channel. This channel hasn't been around for that long. I'm still pretty new at it, but I think this will kind of get my foot into doing more stuff with it. I've been really busy with my script and all that, so I just haven't had as much time as I wanted to focusing on the YouTube account. But this will be a good step in the better direction to kind of branch out and do more and kind of expand the channel a bit more. So stay tuned for that. I got a lot planned for October. So let's go ahead and talk about No Good Deed, the suspense thriller, I guess you can call it. I remember getting this trailer. I don't remember what movie I saw it. I don't remember what movie I was watching where I saw the trailer. I just remember seeing the trailer in the theater, and when I watched the whole trailer, I just started to kind of laugh out loud because I just thought, like, wow, like this movie based on this trailer, this movie looks impressively generic. Like, it's almost like they're trying to be generic. Like that's their goal, is to be the most generic, dull thriller of all time. Well, if that was the direction they were going to, bravo, guys, because you did not disappoint on that. This movie really sucks. But you know what? I'm laughing because I got my money's worth. Because while I didn't think the movie was particularly too good, the crowd I watched it with certainly did. I went to it last night with Logan, and and we were both just kind of in a corner in the theater, kind of on the right side, kind of secluded from everyone else. And it wasn't packed, but it had a pretty good number of people there. This movie is #1 at the box office, which blows my mind away. That Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, I don't even think made $1 million on its opening weekend, and yet this made like over $25 million. Wow. But it had a good amount of people in the theater, and these people loved this movie. They were on the edge of their seats, and they would not shut up about it. And frankly, their commentary normally would be annoying, but my point of view has always been, when it comes to talking in the theater, if the movie sucks, go for it. I mean, if I'm watching a good movie, a movie that I'm really invested, I want everyone to just keep their mouth shut. But if this is a movie that I don't give a crap about, and maybe it's annoying, maybe it's frustrating, in this case, maybe it's just painfully dull, dude, just go Mystery Science Theater on it. I don't care. I'm doing the same thing. Granted, I'm not yelling out loud. I'm kind of saying it quietly to my friends next to me, but you know what? They kind of made the movie fun. More fun than it was on its own. So the one really good thing I can say about this movie, the one like really shining light on it, the only thing I can really give it credit for is, I'm going to butcher his name, which is why I wrote it down, forgive me, Idris Elba. I hope I said it right. The antagonist. He's been in the Thor movies. He was in Pacific Rim. He's starting to get his name out there more. He's doing a lot of movies soon, and honestly, he is great. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, a lot of the acting was not bad, to be honest. For most of it, wasn't bad. But yeah, Elba was like awesome. Like, he did his character, the antagonist, the villain. His character's not that deep at the end of the day, and he doesn't have a whole lot to work with. But dang, he's just doing everything he can to make this character interesting. And he, you know what, he sold it alright, you know, like he did a good job, you know, being kind of charming and kind of manipulative, but at the same time being very dark and intimidating, because that's kind of his character. Is he comes off as really charming and innocent, but deep down he's like a psychopath. And he did a really good job. I'll give him credit. He is the shining light, and he is trying so hard to distract you from this movie's terrible script that was written. Well, I'm really sorry, dude. You did an awesome job. Hats off to you. The movie still sucks, but it's not your fault. You did everything you could. This movie is terribly written. Characters are doing... There's a lot of moments throughout the film, and we'll get more into it in a moment, but there are tons of moments in the film where the main character could have done something to get out of the danger, or the villain, for that matter, could have done something to just end his problems. But if they did that, the movie would have been over too soon. So for the sake of having the plot move forward, they do something stupid. Really stupid. And it's lazy writing, man. It's just lazy writing, and it's the same old stuff we've seen in other crappy movies and even in better movies that were able to pull it off better. So let's just go ahead and just dive right into this. So I took notes. I wouldn't forget everything I wanted to say. So, okay, so the movie starts off with Idris Elba playing a character named... his character's name is Colin. Alright. Colin is... In the beginning of the movie, he gets denied parole because he committed this brutal murder, and he's had several accounts of, like, violence against women. And they kind of have this guy figured out. Like I said earlier, like he comes off as really charming and like misunderstood, and deep down he's a good guy. But the truth is, this guy will murder you. Like, this guy will kill you. He has no remorse. He is a psychopath, and he has that kind of stalker syndrome, you know, against women. So this guy is bad news. So he tries to charm his way into parole, but he gets denied. So he's getting transferred back to prison, and gosh, you know, in this opening scene he's going to escape. Like, well, first of all, it's in the trailer, but you just know it's going to happen. And what's really funny is that in the opening scene, as you're seeing him get denied parole, you are hearing in the background a news clip of a reporter basically telling you what this guy did, like the murder that he committed. And they're going into detail about how it's like one of the most brutal murders in recent memory. And this guy is gaining like notoriety for it. Like, this was just so extreme. Like, this guy is super dangerous. And, you know, you would think that for a guy that's, you know, really dangerous, that they would have pretty good security on bringing him back to prison. Guess how many people are taking him back to prison? 2 guards, one of whom is driving. And the driver is an old man, like a man in his 60s. And the one guard who is watching him is middle-aged and fat. What could go wrong? So he's in the freaking truck. They're driving, and like the old man driver, like he kind of sympathizes with Elba. I think his name is Colin, right? Yeah, Colin. Sorry. He's kind of sympathizing that Colin didn't get his parole, and because he thinks that Colin's just misunderstood. And the fat middle-aged guard doesn't give a crap. So Colin pulls off the classic, "Hey, my nose is bleeding. Can I get a tissue?" And fat guard is like, "Dude, we'll be back at prison soon. You can wait." But sympathetic driver's like, "Oh, come on, give him a handkerchief." So fat guard gives him the handkerchief. Colin makes his moves, kills them both, because he's so bad. He's so evil, and so he escapes. Didn't see that coming, right? So Colin then visits his ex-fiance, and he learns that his ex-fiance, left him while he went to jail, and now she is with someone else. We don't know who this person is, but she's with someone else. And Colin knows this because he broke into his ex-fiance's house before she got home and saw a love letter written by the boyfriend, and so he reads it, and the back of it has, well, I won't even spoil that part yet, but he reads the letter, and so ex-fiance comes home. You know, he's kind of doing the creepy, like, talk, like, pretending like everything's okay when in reality it's not. He ends up killing her. No big surprise there. So while this is happening, we cut to our main character, Terry, who has, like, a young daughter. I think she might be, like, 7, maybe 6, and then she has a baby. And she has a tool of a husband. We know this because he wears tool clothes and acts like a tool the whole time by giving no emotion whatsoever. And so tool husband is leaving the night to celebrate his dad's birthday by taking him out golfing, I think, or something like that. So she's trying to, like, you know, she knows that their marriage right now is kind of dry, and it really needs like a boost right now. And so she's like, you know, let's just pack up, let's just go, let's take a vacation. We'll leave the kids here, like someone can watch them, and we'll just connect. And he's just being a jerk and kind of meh. And then she's like, I just want to say this was funny. The whole time we're seeing this jerk husband, he's not giving any emotion at all. He's just brushing everything off. And then she's like, she says something like, do you think you could just give your father, like, a rain check and, like, just focus on our marriage? And then he very seriously, like, turns his face to her and he's like, it's my dad's birthday. And then, like, whoa, gosh, dude, calm down. So he leaves. And so her slutty best friend comes over, and she's like, she's like, well, now that your husband's gone, how about you and I just have a girls' night? You know, you can put the kids to bed, and we can just, you know, drink in the house or whatever. So she's like, okay. So while this is happening, Colin, it's like nighttime now. Colin is driving, and it's storming, and he gets into a car accident, hits a tree, car is dead, his head is, like, cut open a bit. And so he kind of wanders on the street, and then he stumbles across Terry's house. Again, if you've seen the trailer, you kind of know where this is going. So, he knocks on the door, she answers, and he's, acting very polite. He's like, oh, I got in a car accident. Can I just use your phone? Like, I understand. Like, I can just stay out here. You can hand me the phone. Like, I keep forgetting his name. Idris Elba, he is really good at this, at pretending being this character who is a psychopath, pretending to be this charming, innocent guy. He really sells it here, and it's honestly, it does make it a little intense. I'll admit, because we've already seen Colin kill someone. So, we know what he's capable of, although we don't know fully what he's capable of because this movie's PG-13, so of course all the violence is off screen. But we know what he's capable of, so it is a little intense when he's, putting on the fake smile and all that. So, in my opinion, the next, 20 minutes of the film is the best part of the whole film, when there's no action at all, for the most part. It's pretty much Colin pretending that he's calling, the tow truck stores, when in reality he's kind of playing mind games with Terry because he's a sadistic lunatic. And the tension rising where Terry is slowly suspecting that there's something really sketchy about this guy, It's done very slowly. And I liked that. I actually liked that a lot. It was actually done kind of well. Unfortunately, this is ruined for two reasons. One, like, cause he, at first he stays outside, but then, it's raining, and so she's like, you know what? Terry's like, Colin, come inside, you can dry off while you wait for the truck. So he gets in the house, This is the subtlety and build up to the inevitable, attack that we know is going to happen. It's ruined for two reasons. One, as Colin and Terry are just sitting in the house making small talk, and Colin is pretending to be this nice guy, the movie is constantly cutting back to when he killed his ex-fiancée literally hours ago, earlier that day, and for us, moments ago, because it didn't happen that long ago in the movie. And I guess they did that to remind us that this guy is dangerous. Even though we're not going to forget that, we've spent the first 10 minutes of the movie seeing him kill 3 people already, every time in cold blood. So I don't think we need to keep seeing it again. The other reason this is ruined is because Terry's slutty friend comes in and she finds Colin instantly attractive and she wants to bang him. So they're all 3 drinking wine, and Terry and Colin are clearly feeling uncomfortable around slutty best friend. And slutty best friend is just saying all these innuendos, and she keeps hinting at stuff. And she said one pickup line that made me laugh, because she is pretty much putting herself out there that she wants to hook up with this mysterious Colin guy. And so Terry says something like, I don't remember slutty friend's name, but she's like, come on, let's just keep this friendly or something. And then slutty friend says, like, hey, you know what? To me, having sex is like going to the gym. You should do it every day and never use the same equipment twice. That got a chuckle out of me and everyone in the theater. I was laughing actually pretty hard. I wasn't just chuckling. That made me laugh pretty hard. I was like, okay, this script is terrible, but if there's one kind of memorable piece of dialogue, it's that, and it's just a stupid pickup line. So, despite the fact that slutty friend is making an annoying slut out of herself, she actually figures out pretty quickly that Colin is not who he claims to be, and that there is something very wrong with this guy. So, of course, she figures this out when her and Colin are alone, and Terry's in another room, so Colin kills her. Shortly after that, Terry finally realizes that Terry is not just some regular guy. Like, Terry's an intruder. And that's when anything that was potentially good about the film is completely destroyed, because from here on out, the rest of the movie is just a generic, dull hostage thriller. Colin takes out a gun, holds her hostage, threatens to shoot her kids, and the rest of the movie is literally her. Basically, the rest of the movie goes like this. Colin points a gun at her. She says, please don't shoot. And then she says, why are you doing this? And he says, you'll find out. And then she hits him over the head with something. She grabs the kids to leave. Colin comes back with a gun, and then she says, oh, please don't shoot. Please don't shoot my children. Please don't shoot me. And they just keep on going. It's that same old crap. And it's annoying, and it's stupid. And there's a lot of moments where she hits him over the head and tries to escape but fails. And in a lot of those moments, it's like, okay, you just hit this guy over the head with a fire extinguisher, and he rolled down the stairs. Grab his freaking gun! But no, of course not. That would make the movie much shorter. We can't have that. So they keep procrastinating on the plot, and then finally Colin takes the kids into Terry's car, and drives. And we don't know where they're going. And then they get pulled over by a cop. And through I'm not even going to go into all the scene, but out of complete stupidity, the cop gets killed and they move on. Basically, the cop figures out pretty quickly that Colin has them hostage. Colin's in the car. Terry's outside. Cop is outside. Cop is here. Terry's here. Car is here. Colin's inside. Colin gets out. As he gets out, and he's getting out casually, I might add, cop just stands there. Colin gets all the way out of the car. Cop stands there. Colin takes out gun. Cop stands there. Colin shoots cop. In fact, not only does he shoot out, Colin walks up to the cop and shoots cop. And then, Colin has the gun, but Colin's outside now. Terry is close to the car. Kids are in the car. If Terry ran into the car and just drove off, Colin would have been screwed. I mean, granted, he could have gotten into the cop car, I guess, but she would have gotten a chance to escape. Guess what she does when the cop gets shot? Nothing. She stands there. She stands there, and after like a good 5 seconds of Colin not paying attention to Terry, he finally turns around and is like, "Don't even think about leaving." Stupid people doing stupid things so that the movie can keep going. So they keep driving, and then it turns out that they go back to Colin's ex-fiance's house. Colin ties up Terry and then leaves for a moment. And Terry is in the room that Colin's ex-fiance's corpse is in, and the ex-fiance's phone rings. She answers it. She's tied up. She gets a piece. She gets something sharp, cuts off the ropes. She takes the phone, and the moment she answers it, plot twist, Terry's husband is on the other line. And he's like, "Yo, baby, I'm at the hotel. Where are you at?" So it turns out that not only is Terry's jerk husband, having an affair, but it's the woman that left Colin for Terry's husband. So, and then it does like a flashback, and when Colin read the love letter that was written to his ex-fiancée, it had his address on the back of it. So when Colin invaded Terry's home, it wasn't done just because he's a sadistic psychopath. It was done because he was going to get revenge. He was going to kill Terry's husband. Terry realizes all this, gets into a final confrontation with Colin, kills Colin, she punches her husband, I guess leaves him, and then the last scene is literally her moving into a new home with her kids, and everything's hunky-dory. The end. Yeah, sounds boring, right? That's because that's exactly what it is. Besides, besides Idris Elba's performance, there's really nothing else I can say that's good about it. The rest of the acting is fine. The actress that played Terry was fine. Slutty friend was annoying, but that's more of just her character than the actress. And it's not very well filmed, again, because it's PG-13. So whenever there's an action scene, it's either shaky cam or violence off screen. And yeah, there's really nothing else to say. The only other thing I can kind of give it credit for is that when Colin is in the house and he's not doing anything violent yet, though that build-up, that was kind of good, but again, it's ruined by the two things I already mentioned. So at the end of the day, this movie it's really forgettable. It sucks. Again, I saw it with a pretty funny crowd. They were really into it. And whenever Terry, knocked over Colin with something, this girl behind you was just like, "What are you doing? Get the gun! What are you doing? Leave the house! What are you," like, and they were like, there was clapping in this movie. At the end, when Terry she shoots Colin like 5 times, and when she does, there was applause in the audience. For me personally, if I'm seeing a crappy movie and I'm not enjoying it very much, it does give me some amusement when the audience does. I was kind of hoping, to be honest, that this movie, because of the horrible reviews it got and because of how terrible it just looked in general, I was really hoping that this movie would be so bad it's good, but it's really not. It just sucks. Like, there are some moments in it, like there are some campy moments that are pretty funny. Like, it's my dad's birthday. Like there's some funny line reads that are kind of campy, kind of B-movie-ish, but all in all, it's just a crappy, forgettable suspense thriller. D-. Only good thing I can say is, again, Elba's performance. So, don't recommend it. Don't take my word for it, though. It's making tons of money, so if you want to go see it, you'll probably see it anyways. But I do not recommend No Good Deed. So that's my review of that. I got more videos coming up soon, so thanks for watching. See ya.